that mission with our interagency partners, to include the Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service, ATF, DEA, and we're thankful for the mayor's assistance in this matter, the Metropolitan Police Department and their skills in investigating homicides and gun shootings in this city is exceptional. We will work together collaboratively because this is a matter of national security, because it's a matter of pride. President Trump has been informed. We've been in contact with the White House. We will shortchange the American public with no resources to make sure we find and safeguard our nation's capital right here in Washington, D.C., and bring anyone responsible for this heinous act of violence to justice. I would lastly like to add to the American public and the world, please send your prayers to those brave warriors who are in critical condition and their families. They are here serving our country. They are here protecting everyday Americans and citizens around the world in our nation's capital. They are the heroes of this day, and we must remember them on this day and every day, and their families and the sacrifice they have made. I will now turn it over to Chief Carroll of the Metropolitan Police Department. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Carroll. I'm the Executive Assistant Chief here at the Metropolitan Police Department. At approximately 2:15 this afternoon, members of the D.C. National Guard were on high visibility patrols in the area of 17th and I Street Northwest when a suspect came around the corner, raised his arm with a firearm, and discharged it at the National Guard members. The National Guard members, there were other members that were in the area. They were able to, after some back and forth, able to subdue the individual and bring them into custody. Within moments, members of law enforcement in the area were also able to assist and bring that individual into custody. At this time, as the director mentioned, the National Guard members are being treated at a local hospital. DC Fire and EMS responded to the scene to provide first aid for those individuals and transport them to a local hospital. The suspect in this case was also transported for treatment at a local hospital. Madam Mayor?
I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C., and I, too, want to send my thoughts and prayers to the families of the guardsmen and to the guardsmen who are in critical condition in a local hospital. I am joined by members and leadership from the D.C. National Guard, from the West Virginia National Guard, United States Secret Service, Deputy Mayor Pia, Fire Chief Donnelly, and Metro's General Manager Randy Clark, and we join with the FBI Director in ensuring that MPD investigates, the U.S. Attorney prosecutes this case to the fullest extent of the law. I've had the opportunity to brief U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was speaking to the president when I called, as well as the United States Attorney Pirro, who assured me that this case will have her office's complete attention.
Mayor, was there any other suspect?
Chief?
Sure. So no, at this time there's no indication that there was any other suspect. The one suspect that was involved in this incident, they were shot during the interaction and they were transported to the hospital for treatment.
Mayor, does this validate the need for the National Guard here in D.C.?
What we know, Andrea, is that this is a targeted shooting. One individual who appeared to target these guardsmen, that individual has been taken into custody.
Mayor, can you tell us about more details on the condition of the two National Guardsmen and whether or not anyone else was injured? And a quick question follow-up for the FBI Director. You said that we'll make sure we find the perpetrators for this act. So just to clarify, the person believed to be responsible is in custody and there are no other suspects?
Sure, so I can start out. Again, Chief Carroll from MPD. So both the individuals, the Guard members, they are in critical condition at a local hospital at this time being treated. At this point, we have no other suspects. We have reviewed video from the area. It appears, like I said, to be a lone gunman that raised a firearm and ambushed these members of the National Guard, and he was quickly taken into custody by other National Guard members and law enforcement members.
Have you got any sense of motive? Tell us about a motive.
No, at this time, obviously, we're very in the preliminary stages of investigation. There's a lot of things, a lot of agents that are here from various federal agencies, law enforcement agencies. We have the full power of the FBI and our federal partners here, the task force. So we're looking at all those different aspects, but we don't have any motive. The National Guardsmen that were shot, I'm told they were armed.
Did they get off shots?
At this time, that's part of the preliminary investigation.
We know how the suspect was.
Chief.
Sure. So how the suspect was apprehended, as I said, the individual, the suspect came around the corner. He immediately started firing a firearm at the two National Guard members. So at that time, there were other National Guard members that were in the area. They heard the gunfire. They actually were able to intervene and to kind of hold down the suspect after he had been shot on the ground until law enforcement got there within moments.
And he was shot by a National Guardsman?
At this point, we're still investigating exactly who shot the individual. It's not clear at this time.
Were there DC policemen in the area?
We don't know what kind of weapon. There was DC police. It happened right in front of the Metro, although there is no indication that the perpetrator was on the Metro. So there's Metro Transit Police in the area, and obviously being on 17th Street by the White House, Uniformed Division of Secret Service were in the immediate area as well.
What kind of weapon the alleged perpetrator used?
We do not know at this time. It's still under investigation.
We're going to be able to take a couple more.
Has been able to question the suspect, or is his condition so severe that you haven't been able to have a conversation?
Sure. Again, so as I said, we're very preliminary in the investigation, so we're looking to all aspects of who the individual is, his connections. At this time, he's still in the hospital receiving treatment.
And I would just like, hang on. I would just like to add, the reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training to secure American lives today. There was not any further injury and any further shootings. We should highlight the fact that the men and women of law enforcement, the interagency, the Department of War, and the National Guard executed their training with great precision today and prevented an even greater tragedy from befalling us. These National Guardsmen are heroes, and we must pray for their safety and their speedy recovery. And as the chief said, we are in the preliminary stages of this investigation. We will run down every single lead, every piece of evidence. This is the power of the U.S. government at its best at the state, local, and federal level. That is why this interagency group is standing behind us to assure America and the world that we will continue to keep D.C. safe. And thankfully, we have Metropolitan Police Department, the National Guardsmen, and federal agents, and the Department of Justice and the Attorney General willing to prosecute the mission to keep Americans safe. And President Trump has rightly stated that this heinous act will be investigated, and he has thanked the National Guardsmen and women and the men and women of law enforcement.
Did the suspect say anything at the time? Why did the West Virginia governor say that they'd been killed? Chief, was anyone else shot?
Have the families been notified?
General, what about the
Okay, you are watching what was just a live news conference in Washington, D.C. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show, everyone. We're on a little bit early because the press conference in Washington, D.C. started just about 5 or 10 minutes ago. And so we wanted to bring it to you live. Thanks for joining Lemon Live at 5. We have all the details. We are working with our correspondents in Washington and our producers as well, our sources in Washington, to bring you the very latest. Now, as you heard from that press conference, there were 2 National Guard members who have been shot. Details are still iffy right now. There have been reports that they were fatally injured. That's what the governor of West Virginia put out a statement about, and then later walked it back. The reason it's the governor of West Virginia is because these 2 National Guardsmen members were confirmed to be residents of West Virginia. So the governor, Patrick Morrisey, saying originally, that is with great sorrow that we can confirm that both members of the West Virginia National Guard who were shot earlier today in Washington, D.C. have passed away from their injuries. These brave West Virginians lost their lives in the service of the country. We are in ongoing contact with the federal authorities as the investigation continues. And then his statement goes on. And then later, he updated that statement saying, we are now receiving conflicting reports about the condition of the 2 National Guard members and will provide additional updates once we receive more complete information. So again, the information is still coming in. And as you know, you should know, with breaking news, the details often change as you get more information. But let's just talk about some of the information and what we heard at this press conference. We heard that National Guard members out there, obviously these National Guard, let me back up here. These National Guard members are out there because the President of the United States wanted them in the city to fight a crime problem that the mayor and the police chief and law enforcement said didn't need. The mayor has since sort of changed her tune about that, and then after that announcing that she's not going to run again. Okay, that aside. So these National Guard members were out doing whatever it is that they're doing, walking, patrolling, I would imagine trying to secure some areas or whatever it is their duties were. And then someone, according to witnesses, walked up, and according to the reports of what the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, Mayor Muriel Bowser, and the head of police in Washington, D.C., they're saying walked up to these National Guard members near the White House, 17th Street, they said, and opened fire. Now, according to what I have seen, witness reports, there were 1 or 2 shots, and then a series of shots fired back in rapid succession. The guardsmen went down, and they were able to, it is believed, these National Guardsmen to get some shots off, enough to injure the suspect. The suspect is now in custody. He is in the hospital, and his injuries, or her injuries, are believed to be life-threatening at this point. There is no motive yet. They don't know. They don't know right now, honestly, if these National Guardsmen are alive or dead. They're saying that they're in critical condition. But here's the thing. From my years of doing this, yes, the information does. Sometimes people get ahead of themselves with the information. But what I usually find in this situation is that they don't want to announce that someone has departed or left this earth, someone who is in service to this country, until they notify the next of kin, and as many of the next of kin as possible. So having said that, that's where we are right now. So if you understand what I'm saying. So again, they're saying that they are, Pete Hegseth, even the Secretary of Defense, even said that they had passed, that these 2 guardsmen were killed. Now they're walking that back. And so that's the information that we have right now. And again, this is all happening in Washington, D.C. And listen, on a Thanksgiving holiday weekend, this terrible, terrible news coming in to the Don Lemon Show newsroom and happening in America. Look, I hate for anyone to lose their lives. I just think that having these guardsmen out there is like, why do you have them out there? And obviously the person should not have done what they did. Nobody's lives should be in jeopardy. But this is this is an issue with local law enforcement. Local law enforcement believe that they can handle these situations. The president, the Secretary of Defense, the FBI, whatever, they believe that they need these National Guardsmen there. And so obviously it is someone who is a disturbed person who did this, but you have to know, you must know all of the circumstances surrounding this so that you can make an assessment for yourself. Now, this is a report, I'm going to show this one that came in just a little bit ago from Fox News about the governor of West Virginia, who is saying that there are conflicting reports. Watch.
Joey, a big development, and one that I would pray to say may be happy. The governor of West Virginia has just provided an update saying we are now getting conflicting reports about the conditions, and that we will provide additional updates once we receive more complete information. This is Patrick Morrisey, Republican governor of West Virginia, who had made the news on social media just a few minutes ago that those service members had died. His latest statement indicates that he's getting conflicting information. Joey, it's an emergency. There's chaos. There's absolutely a lot of back and forth happening between the governor's mansion, if these are his troops, as well as what's happening here in the nation's capital. But some slimmer of good news that perhaps at least one or both of these service members may be okay. The governor went on to say our prayers are with these brave service members, their families, and the entire Guard community. I would imagine we'd get a much more definitive stance of where things are when we have the official update from D.C. police, as well as top federal law enforcement officers. The governor of West Virginia here clarifying his statement on social media. No indication that these service members may be out of the woods. Of course not. This is horrific, and it just happened within the last 2 hours. But there is that possibly slimmer of good news that maybe one or both of those service members may still be alive. It's you imagine when Joey, there's a lot of crossed wires here, medical conditions, people in the hospital trying to convey what's going on. But the official word has not come down from federal law enforcement. Instead, that was the governor of West Virginia who said that. Joey, the second I hear any more, and we're praying for all of those service members, we'll let you know. Joey.
Mm-hmm. And that was a report from Fox News. I want to bring in someone who knows this area like the back of his hand. This is actually where his beat was near this area. This is Michael Fanone. He's a former MPD officer who served for 20 years, including some time as a U.S. Capitol Police officer. Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you, Don.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I wish it was under better circumstances. I just was giving the folks here a little bit of background about why these officers, why these National Guards members were there. They were there because as part of a deployment ordered in August by President Trump, and they were out there patrolling or whatever it is that they're doing. Apparently the shooter walked up to them and then opened fire. And then I believe, according to the reports and the witnesses, that the National Guard's members were able to get some shots off enough to injure the suspect. And the suspect has critical injuries and is in the hospital right now, is in custody and in the hospital. What do you know, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a unfolding story. What I was able to gather from speaking to some former colleagues was that initial reports, there were 4 individuals that were shot. I know that we've now learned, I guess initially there were reports that 2 of the National Guard's members had been shot and killed, but that they are now being reported as in critical condition. This happened around 17th and I Street Northwest, which is in downtown Washington, D.C., just a stone's throw from the White House. Not an area, at least in my experience, known for this type of violent crime. And so it was clearly, at least in my mind, this was a targeted attack because it is just simply not something that you would normally see in afternoon working hours in downtown DC, especially in an area where there's already such a heightened police presence. They have so many different federal agencies. Again, the White House being in close proximity, you have Secret Service. You had these National Guards members that were out patrolling the federal areas of Washington, D.C. But again, a tragedy.
It is a tragedy. Now, Michael, did you hear the press conference with Kash Patel and the mayor?
I caught portions of the press conference.
So, according to Kash Patel, and it wasn't very clear because I heard that perhaps there were civilians or maybe it was other members of the National Guard who subdued the suspect until law enforcement arrived to put the suspect in custody.
Yeah, the only information that I got was, again, speaking to former colleagues at the Metropolitan Police Department, was that the individual, the shooter, was shot and injured by those, members of the National Guard. I did not hear as to how he was subdued, only that he had been critically injured by members of the National Guard.
Yeah. Mike, is this, and what law enforcement agency would be in charge or who would be on the scene here at this point?
I mean, ultimately in Washington, D.C., the Metropolitan Police investigates all use of force incidents that occur within Washington, D.C. And so you would have the Metropolitan Police Department. That being said, because these are National Guard troops, troops that have been federally activated by the president himself, I would imagine that the FBI would ultimately be taking the lead in this investigation if they already haven't done so.
I'm not sure if you're watching some of the comments from the people who are watching us, and they're saying that these Guard members shouldn't be there in the first place. Look, that's no excuse for what happened, but it is true that they would not be there had they not been deployed by the White House.
Correct. Not only were these National Guard troops, again, deployed by the President of the United States, I think it's important to note against the wishes of, the mayor and local administration in Washington, D.C., but they were also National Guard troops that were deployed from outside of Washington, D.C. They were West Virginia National Guard troops.
Yeah. As you know from working with law enforcement and working closely with the members of the military, they don't like to pronounce someone is not with us until the next of kin is contacted. And so folks may have gotten ahead of themselves. Perhaps they are still being worked on in the hospital, or they could have just not gotten in touch. I just want to be very honest with you here. Maybe they didn't get in touch with the next of kin, and they jumped the gun on this one. No pun intended. Sorry for that, but understand what I'm saying. And they got ahead of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of surprised that that the governor of West Virginia came out and said that the 2 National Guard members were deceased. I hope that that is not the case, but I agree with you, Don. I suspect that it had more to do with notifications of family members than it had to do with their actual, you know, medical state. You know, how do you get that wrong?
Yeah. Mike, what happens now? Because there's been tension. Look, there was tension not with just civilians, but there's also tension between the police departments, local law enforcement, and now what does this do at this point? Because does this heighten the situation? What happens here?
I mean, I think like a lot of, I would venture to say that a lot of people are concerned that this would result in Donald Trump declaring martial law in Washington, D.C., bringing in active duty military personnel, and, you know, furthering this tension that has been brought about, not just by the presence of National Guard members. And again, like you were saying earlier, I don't want to say anything. None of this justifies, you know, the killing of these National Guard.
Or the shooting of these National Guard members, right?
No. And that's not, you know, not what I'm trying to say at all. But I think it's important to acknowledge that this tension exists, that there is tension not only between National Guard members and members of the community who see them as an outside occupying force, and also as a constant reminder of the Trump administration and how they are subverting what a lot of residents in the District of Columbia see as their rights as citizens of this nation, but also the, you know, pitting law enforcement agencies, local law enforcement agencies against the community in their participation with ICE and Customs and Border Patrol's raids, which, you know, all of this is kind of a part of that effort on behalf of the administration. The deployment of National Guard is there, you know, in their, at least in their minds, to protect ICE, Customs and Border Patrol, and also protect their immigration enforcement efforts, protect federal installations that may be targeted by protesters who are angered by, you know, what they see as unconstitutional and inhumane policies.
Mm-hmm. Mike, I want you to stand by, because when there's breaking news, I know that there's often conflicting information. Sometimes the information is reported that's reported initially turns out to be inaccurate, but that's just the nature of breaking news, because people are reporting, sources are hearing things. Law enforcement will tell you some things, and then they will take it back. The hospital officials will tell you some things, and then they take it back. So let me just update you. If you were just joining us here on the Don Lemon Show, 2 West Virginia National Guard members who deployed to the nation's capital by the President of the United States back in August was shot today, just blocks from the White House, a brazen act of violence. The FBI Director Kash Patel, along with the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, and the police chief, excuse me, held a press conference just moments ago saying that the Guard members were hospitalized in critical condition. Bauer said that they were victims of a targeted shooting. So the person, whoever the suspect is, targeted them. This wasn't some random act, and they weren't just caught in the crossfire. That's according to Mayor Muriel Bowser and the FBI director. The West Virginia governor initially said that the troops had died, but later walked that back to say that his office was receiving conflicting reports about their condition. The governor's office have not responded yet to requests for clarification about the attack and the conditions of the troops there. The suspect initially was said to have life-threatening injuries. A suspect who is in custody was also shot and has wounds that are not believed to be life-threatening at this point. Initially, they said life-threatening. Now they're saying not life-threatening. And that's according to law enforcement officials there. So that is the latest here. I'm joined by former MPD Officer Michael Fanone, who's giving us an update on this. So, Michael, tell the folks what's happening right now, because there's going to have to be some coordination now. Usually, it's just law enforcement coordinating, right? This is what we do. You take this, you do this. This person's at the hospital now. Now, I would imagine they're going to have to coordinate with the FBI. The White House is going to get involved. There are going to be so many hands in this. This is going to be a very difficult situation for the local people there. I should say a more complicated situation, maybe even more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, I would venture to say, like, this is not, well, the Metropolitan Police Department being the, the traditional law enforcement agency in Washington, D.C., has the benefit of working closely and having these federal partnerships, and they are accustomed to working in close proximity with one another. I mean, obviously, this particular case is somewhat unique, but those the communication between those agencies is not. I would say that, right now they are focused on evidence gathering. It's already been declared that there was a lone gunman involved in this attack, and so, public safety is not the number one priority at this point, as they already have the suspect in custody. They are working on, gathering evidence, gathering, witness accounts of what occurred, and essentially getting to the bottom of what exactly transpired that resulted in, the shooting of these two National Guards.
Mike, I want to get to the scene now, and our chief Washington correspondent, Jolly, who has been there since shortly after it happened. Jolly, give us an update. What are you seeing there?
Can you hear me, Don?
We can hear you very clearly.
Okay, good, great. So earlier, we immediately, as soon as the shots were fired, we had people in the area that told us shots fired. I was at Union Station. I got here probably within 10 minutes of it happening, before crime scene tape was even up. And what we're being told is it was two guard members. It was a 17 and I, which is where we originally arrived at. Two guard members were ambushed. They were outside the metro stop there. The shooter was not leaving the metro, however. There was some early speculation that the shooter was leaving the metro. When he ambushed the guard, he was not. He was turning the corner. I've been able to see footage of the three people that were shot. I'm not showing that on any public platform, and I wouldn't, but I have seen the footage of someone who got there right before me, and it's pretty bad. So
Jolly, you said the 3 National Guard members that have been shot, or 2?
There was 3 people shot, 2 guard members, and the third person that I seen in the video that had been shot appears to probably be the suspect, right? Yeah. And so they're in critical condition. As you saw, Governor Morrissey jumped the gun and said they were dead. I mean, for the family who's already going through mental duress, having their family members shot, to have this false reporting of them being killed is just irresponsible and shameful on the governor's part there. But they're in critical condition. Kash Patel was here at the press briefing, and he's fluffing it up. It's actually disgusting to listen to the language that Kash Patel used at the press briefing. He said, that these guardsmen were here in D.C. protecting the community when they were attacked. No, these guardsmen were in D.C. illegally, as declared by a federal judge last week. These guardsmen were in D.C. being used as political theater. The executive assistant chief of the Metropolitan Police Department even stated the guardsmen were on a high visibility patrol. That's a fancy way to say they were just there to be seen. They're political theater. And so we have guards members illegally deployed to D.C. being used for political theater just so that they can be seen, now having been ambushed. We don't know the motive. We don't know why he did it, but I do know that if they weren't illegally deployed here, it wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm. The Metro DC Police Chief, Jeff Carroll, was there to help with the press conference, basically just talked about what they are doing. Most of the specifics came from Kash Patel and the mayor. Now, something that Kash Patel said, I want you to clear this up for us. Kash Patel said that either it was members of the National Guards or civilians that helped to subdue the suspect until law enforcement could come and get the situation under control. Can you explain what happened?
Yeah, I heard that too, and I can tell you, after having arrived here immediately after it happened, I didn't see a bunch of guard members around. I saw a huddle of civilians. Now, that's not to say that guard members didn't respond, and that's an untrue story. It could have happened, and they already left the area before I arrived. But I was here very quickly after the incident happened, and I did not see guard members. So I've seen nothing to indicate that the guard was the ones that subdued him. But I do believe that he was shot most likely by a guards member. I don't think that the police were here quick enough to have shot the suspect. But, you know, this is speculation on my part, to be honest.
And that hospital, what hospital were they taken to?
They keep saying local hospital. I mean, I would assume George Washington right around the corner. I don't know, but they haven't said.
Yeah.
Don, I would assume that they would have been transported to Washington Hospital Center just because it's the only shock trauma center in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Agreed. That's my
assumption. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining. Great work, Jolly. Great work, Mike. Thank you so much. You guys, what do you got there? You got something else, Jolly?
Just for some kind of perspective for the people watching. Raise it up for me. We'll raise it up. Right past this crime scene tape and up there where you see the second intersection in front of us.
If you could give us vertical, that would be great. We could see more in the clip.
Go vertical. Go vertical. There we go. So that right there, where the red light is, that's actually where the shooting took place. So to give you some perspective, right where you're looking, if you look to the, let's see, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock from that position, you would see the White House. So we're about 2 blocks. So this is 17th Street where we're at, and the White House is at 16 and H. We're at 17 and I, to give you some perspective. So really, we're very, very close to the White House. There's a metro stop right there at that intersection. It's where the shooting took place. As the investigation started earlier, they had us basically roped off from that intersection, and then they expanded it 1 block, and then they expanded it 2 blocks, and we were asking them, what's going on? Why are you pushing us back? And finally, we got the word that they were expanding their search area. Initially, they said to find a second suspect, and then we got word that it was to find more evidence. So that there was never any clarity made on that. But at the press briefing, they said it was a lone gunman. So it might have just been expanding the search for evidence purposes. Michael probably has some better perspective on why they would expand the search area like that.
Michael, stand by before you do that. And I think, Jolly, we should inform people, where's the president right now?
Golfing, baby.
The president is in Palm Beach golfing, and these National Guard members are out there putting themselves in jeopardy. Michael, what about expanding the search area?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that, Washington, D.C., you pretty much can't traverse from, any quadrant of the city without being on some type of CCTV camera footage. So I would imagine that one of the first things that they did was contact the Special Operations Command Center that monitors those, CCTV cameras, and were able to track the suspect and, whichever direction he may have traveled, and they may be following that footpath or vehicle path to try to locate additional evidence.
I'm not in the Washington area. That's not my bailiwick. I only go there to cover things. So I know the White House, the hotel I'm staying in, then the Capitol, and the office building, and the mall when I'm there. It's covering an inauguration. So in this area, is this a mixed use, as we call it in New York City area? Residential and commercial. And so what happens to these people? Are they evacuated? Are they being held in place? Can they get home? Can they get to these businesses? What's going on?
That's a good question. So as it happened, there was passersby who didn't yet know something had happened. And they were just like you said, they were on their way home from work. They were on their way to work. They were on their way to do personal errands, and they were being pushed back. And so now you're looking, we have about a 2-by-2 block radius that's been cordoned off and nobody's allowed in and out. And so absolutely, there are people who live in this area. This is a mixed area, like you put it. And so until this investigation is cleared, or until the crime scene is cleared, I would imagine there's going to be pretty limited in and out.
Okay. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jolly. I appreciate it. You guys have a happy Thanksgiving, okay? I wish I was with you guys.
Thanks,
and
Don.
hug your families and be grateful. I am grateful for both of you. Okay, I'm glad you're both in my life. So
appreciate you, Don.
All right. Regards to you and your families. Thank you very much. So that's
Same
the
to
very
you.
latest from Washington, D.C. Information will come in. If there's information that warrants us bringing it to you, we shall bring it to you. 2 National Guard members shot just blocks from the White House. You see the reporting there. Initial reports is that these were life-ending injuries. And now the governor of West Virginia, because these are West Virginia guardsmen who were there deployed in Washington, D.C., is walking that back and saying they are still in critical condition. They have not died. And so we shall see. As soon as we get the information, we'll bring it to you right here on the Don Lemon Show on the Don Lemon channel. First, now, we're going to get a word from our sponsors. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from MSI Reproductive Choices. They provide contraception, safe abortion, and essential reproductive health care in 36 countries. And in many of those places, they are literally the only provider, the only option. And look, you know, it's been a really brutal year for women and girls, especially in remote communities. International aid has been cut. Programs are disappearing. Clinics are closing. And the little access women did is shrinking even more. But MSI is still standing, and that is not an accident. After the first Trump administration, they knew that funding could become a political football, and they diversified. They planned ahead. And even after losing $20 million in U.S. aid, they refused to leave women behind. How are they still doing the work? Because people like you refuse to look away. People who believe women deserve choices. People who know healthcare is a human right. When a woman has control over her body, she has control over her future. And if you want to help keep that going, here's how to do it. Text LEMON to 511-511 or go to MSIUnitedStates.org. That's M as in modern, S as in safe, I as in informed, MSIUnitedStates.org. Just $65 provides contraception for 10 women for an entire year. That is real impact. So please give if you can. Text LEMON to 511-511 or visit MSIUnitedStates.org. Message and data rates may apply. Support comes from Lean. And look, if doctors ever had a Black Friday sale, this is it. Brickhouse Nutrition just rolled out their biggest sale of the year. It's 30% off of everything. Crazy. This includes Lean, the doctor-formulated weight loss supplement for people who want real results without injections. Now, I've talked to folks who use it. They love that it's simple, steady, and doesn't make them feel wired. They also got Creatone, which is creatine designed specifically for women to support muscle tone without a whole new diet or gym routine. And Field of Greens, their superfruit and vegetable blend, it's the only one that's backed by a university study showing that it can actually slow aging, and your doctor will notice. You will notice. Sleep, collagen, overall wellness. Every Brickhouse product is 30% off right now. These deals go fast, so visit BrickHouseSale.com to save 30%. One more time, BrickHouseSale.com. So again, we'll keep you updated on the breaking news. In the meantime, we know that it's Thanksgiving weekend, and we have some of the people that we are grateful for, friends of the show, who are sharing their Thanksgiving stories and sharing themselves not only with their families today, but also with us. Take a look. Okay, so you guys see I'm already in the holiday spirit, and it's not it's not even Thanksgiving yet. And I have 2 trees that are on remote control where I can change the whatever it is that they want to do. That's one of them. And one of them is even voice activated. Hello,
that's
tree.
Fancy. That is
I know.
fancy.
And then the other one, I don't have the remote. The remote's in the other room. So
you have to get that. Like, listen, you guys know that I'm super festive, and
I was going to go to you first because you. I mean, you decorate your studio. So
you're the Mariah Carey of Republicans, of ex-Republicans.
I am a lamb, and I love Mariah. We had this conversation last time we were all together. So that
are you ready for tomorrow, Thanksgiving?
Order.
Though I want to know if you're ready for tomorrow.
Absolutely. We always prepare for Thanksgiving like days in advance, and my husband, and you know Marcel, he does a famous mac and cheese dance because he gets very excited about making macaroni and cheese, and it has become famous that people that follow me on social media ask for it. They like look forward to this every year at Thanksgiving to see Marcel debut his new mac and cheese dance. So after we do Thanksgiving, then we bring out the Christmas flair because we turn our whole house into a Christmas wonderland, and we love doing it. So, but we can't do anything before Thanksgiving. It's like against the rules. Consumerism has made us start celebrating Christmas sooner, and it's against the rules.
Do you think it's too early for me? Monique, you guys think this is too early?
Yes.
I love it.
And you know what, Don? You were raised in the South, so I'm just disappointed with you about this. You know better. You know, in Texas and Louisiana, we have to have Thanksgiving first. And then once Thanksgiving is over, the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. You pull out your decorations, you go do your shopping, you do whatever it is. You can still be eating the Thanksgiving leftovers, but
while
you
you're
have
putting
to
up
put
the Christmas stuff.
Got to put Thanksgiving
Monique,
in the ground first.
Monique,
right.
at this point, Don is a New Yorker. And in New York, we start Christmas in early November. It's just, you got all that New York in you, Don. It's a wrap. So I appreciate your two trees.
But again, I'm from Jersey, so I'm from up north. And so,
see, it's not even Southern.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a Southern thing. I mean, even in Italian families, like in my Italian and German family, like Thanksgiving is important. It's a whole thing. And then you start for Christmas. It's just the starting Christmas earlier is just the whole consumerism thing. You can walk into Lowe's or Hobby Lobby in like August, July, and they're already putting up freaking Christmas ornaments, which is just, it's blasphemous. It's too much.
Crazy?
And I'm someone who loves Christmas. You don't understand. My husband and I love Christmas. I don't want to hear Christmas songs in October or the first week of November. I don't want to hear them.
No.
And we love Christmas songs. We will play them ad nauseum after Thanksgiving.
Mm.
Sing it, Don. Don't want a lot for Christmas.
Riff on it, Don.
There is just one thing.
That's the gospel version.
Shout out to Mariah, the queen of Christmas.
Okay, you guys are right. Well, it's Mariah, I guess, is a queen of Christmas. But the song that for Christmas to me, that's a great song. Don't get me wrong. No shade. I love you, Mariah. But to me, it's
This Christmas.
Donny Hathaway.
Yes.
And James Brown. Bells will be ringing. I think that's James Brown.
No, the best Christmas song is The Temptations. In my
The
mind,
whole album.
in my mind, that first in my mind, it's a rap. It's the best one. Nothing better. I just want you to be free.
What about Nat? Nat King Cole.
Of course. That is the best version of
the
that
Thanksgiving
song.
special. Do you see what's happened to us?
I know.
I know. Okay.
I know.
So let me say something. Let me just jump in because I usually wait until at least after Thanksgiving. But then when this is a kind of a sad story, but a good story. So after my dad died when I was young, we started this tradition of putting the tree up on Thanksgiving night after we have eaten because my mom loves Christmas and we needed some happiness. My dad died in like September. And so by the time it came around, it's like, we need a little bit of cheer. And so on Thanksgiving, we put the tree up and then we start thinking about Christmas. So, I started early because I have a lot of things to do between now and then. And also, I mean, it looks good. Can I,
We'll allow it, Don. That's
but can I tell you, I got this I'm obsessed with a TikTok shop. Okay. So I got this new tree that my team calls the accordion tree because it's one pole in the middle and the rest is just like, it's like a slinky. I'll show you. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Stand by.
Oh, listen, I'm always down to find a new cool Christmas ornament. When I say we turn our house into Christmas Wonderland, I'm telling you, it is every ounce of our house, everywhere from doorknobs to bathrooms. Disco skirt.
It looks like it could be an
Oh my gosh.
like a drag queen Christmas. It looks kind of. It could be a full.
It definitely took on a new element.
It was a reveal.
Yeah,
and that's the talking one, right? That's the talking one.
That one can do. It can do a lot of things, and so I think this is kind of the easy. I mean, literally, it took me 5 minutes to put it together. I pulled it out of like a square box. It's about this wide, and that. I was like, how is this a Christmas tree? And then it came. You can tell it's too perfect. You can tell it's not real because it's too perfect,
but still, does it respond to music too? Like if it does your voice, can you program it to music?
No, I think it's made for music, and then you can just change the colors. And then if you wanted to, let me show you the other thing that it'll do. I don't know
love
what that
this.
one is. Oh yeah, it can do stuff.
Look at that.
Where did you get this? My husband will like it, especially if you can.
I got it from the TikTok shop. Oh my God, it's so easy to store.
Brag on the TikTok shop. I've never used it.
This is it.
Me either. We can't. I don't do TikTok at all because
This is what it looks like in the box. You see that in the box? It's how it comes, that flat. And then it just unfolds like an accordion or like a slinky. And then that's it. Just
I like that. I like the rainbow colors. I might mail it to Lindsey Graham and maybe see if he'll like it too.
Just she's gotta love Christmas.
No reason. Just it's rainbow. I just thought various colors. That's just curious, I'm just
spreading the love.
I'm not a holiday person.
You're not?
No.
Who are you?
I don't have any decorations. All I got is my Patti LaBelle album. Bam! That's all I got.
Well, can you at least get you a patty pie?
Right.
Yum.
My family's gonna make. I like patty now, but my family's gonna make the pie, sweet potato pie. But I'm not really it's here. It's here. I like Halloween. That was fun, but Christmas,
no tree, no like.
No, just
Clay. But I'm gonna go. No. Intervention. Clay, don't make me come to Jersey on this Thanksgiving break and set up a tree in your house tomorrow night and think at the after dinner.
But check out what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna go and volunteer at a homeless shelter tomorrow. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I wanted to do because things have been so crazy with the SNAP benefits and not everybody has gotten them. And as somebody who was I was born and raised on welfare, I know what the holidays look like when you don't have no money. So I'm gonna go volunteer tomorrow. So I'm gonna give back. But decorations and all that kind of stuff, I can't do all that.
Thanks for making us feel bad about ourselves.
I know, right? Look at y'all.
No, I don't feel bad about it at all. I think that's wonderful what you're doing. My mom started a faith-based homeless program in the Florida Keys many years ago. I helped her run that. And for 10 Thanksgivings in a row, that's what we did. We provided turkeys and meals for the homeless in Monroe County, Florida, and gave back. And we also would have an opportunity for folks to come and decorate the day center. So because joy is important and things like that. And you would be surprised how many of our homeless family would come in and just like cry or say, thank you. I haven't decorated a Christmas tree since I was a child, or I haven't felt being a part of something or welcomed in to be a part of the holidays. So you can marry the two things together. You can give back and you can decorate and spread joy and Christmas cheer together.
Now I will be drinking after I do my good citizen work. So just know that after it's done.
As you should. A good beverage after is acceptable.
Exactly.
Tim and I have done for the holidays and beyond. We've done God's Love. You guys know God's Love. We deliver.
God's Love. We deliver amazing.
And then, but usually for Christmas I go all out. Have you ever seen? It started when I was with NBC. There was this bikes for kids, like bikes for young kids. And you would buy bicycles
like toys
for them
tots.
To put under the Christmas tree. And if you've ever seen those kids' faces light up when you get a bicycle, I'm like, just give me all the bikes.
Yeah.
Just give me all the bikes. I don't care how much it is. And so we would give, dozens of bikes for kids because, bikes, you can go to a, someplace like a bike store. Where do you get a Walmart or wherever you get a bike, you can buy a bunch of bikes for not a lot of money. And it just lights a kid's Christmas up. But anyway, back to Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So you said that Marcel's cooking sweet potato pie
No, he does mac and cheese, but
Mac and cheese.
he has taken over turkey duties the last 2 Thanksgivings. Usually my mom and I do. Usually my mom, I shouldn't say I. My mom usually handles the turkey. My mom's a great cook, but Marcel
Fried or oven?
We do oven. We for the homeless shelter when we used to do that, it was fried because we had to do a lot. So it would be,
And it's
we could
quick.
do many. But no, in our house, we have a small family. So we do oven. And my husband's a really good cook too. So he's got his own dry rub that he's getting ready to release soon called the Love Rub. So he likes to use his spices and things on
Excuse
the meats
me?
that we. Yes, it's a dry rub.
Your
a
husband's
spice.
out here giving out love rubs?
Yes, it's a spice. Yes, there's a double entendre here, but it's a spice. It's coming soon, so everybody look out for the Love Rub. But yeah, so he's doing that, and then usually I'll do sides and desserts. And my mom does amazing sides and desserts. We do. It's a family affair. We dance and we cook and we wear funny aprons and we wear funny like gobble hats. And same thing for Christmas. We wear funny hats and obnoxious Christmas tree jewelry and things like that because we're festive people. And like I said, you need to have joy. There's a lot of negative out there. You got to bring a bright spot.
That's right.
Amen. Monique, is your daughter going to be here tomorrow? Are you going to spend time with your daughter?
So thankfully, yes. She is in Tech Week for the production of SpongeBob at the Beck Center in Cleveland. If anybody wants to go on down there, it's going to be running for a month, starting I think like December 3rd. But we are going to get some Thanksgiving time with this rising starlet. She gets 2 whole days. We're thankful for that. But I have for real turned into the exact replica of my mother for Thanksgiving in that I cook the entire meal and I open up the house for whomever wants to come. Each year I invite a couple of people who I know either have just lost a loved one or a new couple that's away from home or whatever the case may be. But then after that, it's like whoever can come because I just cook enough of the food, which is what my mom did when we were growing up. I still have my cousins and everyone still talks about that meal. So she told me last year, because I cooked in Texas last year and like took some of the food there and did some when we got there. And when she called me a couple of days beforehand and she's like, I'm going to go ahead and make the cornbread dressing, Monique. I will make it. I was like, oh, thank God, because my dressing is not near hers yet. And I was just going to let it be what it was going to be. But I knew everybody was going to be like, oh, that's so nice. But other than that, I do well. I got my mac and cheese on luck. I got a sweet potato casserole. I got my turkey. And my daughter was thinking that that might not happen this year because on my ex-husband's side of the family, we've had a death recently. His dad passed away. It was expected, but so we are in the middle of family mourning and family celebrating and family gathering all at the same time. And it just ended up being where we had to stay here and make the most of it and have a dinner together. And I really am thankful for that. If we're talking about what we're thankful for, I'm just glad that in the middle of everything else that's going on, and I'm thankful for the call on my life that I get to talk about news and spirit and all of those other things. But I am especially grateful for my first call, which is mom. And my second, which is like sister, cousin, daughter, all the things, and that we get to be able to spend some time doing that. Because I know you all are the same way. I give a lot of time to a lot of people, but when it's time to center in and think about home and hearth, I love it. Like there's not a happier thing for me.
Support comes from Z-Biotics. And listen, I don't recommend anything that I don't actually use, okay? You should know that. This stuff has saved me after many long, slow nights. It is called pre-alcohol, and it is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. Here's the deal. When you drink, it's not the alcohol that makes you feel awful the next day. It is the toxic byproduct your body makes, breaking it down. Z-Biotics helps your body process those byproducts. So you drink it before your first drink, enjoy your night, drink responsibly, and the next morning, you're going to feel human, okay? So I first tried it, as I've been telling you before, dinner with friends and a couple cocktails, the whole thing. And the next morning, I woke up ready to go live and do the Don Lemon Show, okay? So this stuff works. Make the most of the holiday season, the parties, the toasts,
Just bring ZBiotics with you. Go to zbiotics.com/lemon and get 15% off of your first order with the code LEMON. And they have a 100% money back guarantee. No questions asked. zbiotics.com/lemon. Use the code LEMON for 15% off. The Don Lemon Show is also brought to you by Heat Holders. And listen, these socks are my winter religion. They are the warmest thermal socks out there, and independent lab tests back that up. My feet are spoiled now. Won't accept anything else in the winter. And it's not just socks. I've been loving their throw blankets, also become my go-to when I'm on the couch reviewing scripts or just watching dogs run around. They've got hats, they've got gloves, they've got base layers, pajamas, even jackets. 3 different warmth levels depending on how cold it gets where you are. So they're also perfect gifts. I gave a pair to a friend last year, and he won't stop talking about how much he loves them. Over 40,000 5-star reviews. So it's not just me. Go to heatholders.com, and from now through Cyber Monday, use my code DON25, that's DON25, for 25% off of your order. Free shipping over $25, okay? For orders over $25. That's heatholders.com. Use the code DON25 and keep yourself warm from head to toe this season.
So, you guys know where I'm going. You can guess. Anybody want to guess where I'm going? The next question is. So you mentioned your mom becoming your mom, Monique. And so my question is, and what you cook, stuffing or dressing?
I mean, I already said it's dressing, Don, obviously. I mean, it's clearly dressing. It's cornbread dressing. Now I do depart because real Southerners would use like liver and cut that up and make it and
seafood,
cook it up and season it. I use ground beef sometimes for people who are coming. If they don't eat red meat, I'll do a little separate part with ground turkey, but it's dressing for the blacks.
Well, yes, my mom used to put the livers in there, and we were kids, and we were like, we hate them. And then she would chop them up small, and then we were like, Mom, we hate them. So she took them out. But she will do livers, but she does. We do dressing as well, but we do a seafood cornbread dressing. So there are I don't know if it's shrimp or crawfish in with the cornbread. I mean, woo, Lord have mercy. That, and you put some gravy on top of it.
I just saw a new recipe for that and saved it in my phone, and I've shared it in my whole family. No, I'm not.
Oh, I have one too.
Well, I want it. I'm going to do my traditional, but I'm adding that one this year. So this is just on time. Like I'm gonna have to do it tonight before tomorrow.
Do you have one? So, Tara, is it dressing or stuffing?
Oh, it's stuffing. I'm biracial. So my Italian, German, mom, we have other traditions. It's different. I mean, the mac and cheese is my black husband, right? Mac and cheese. And I've learned to make a really good sweet potato pie and sweet potato casserole. And my peach cobbler is actually pretty good. So we try to make sure that we incorporate all the cultures in our Thanksgiving. So we do Italian things, and like we make sure we especially the night before Thanksgiving, it's just kind of like Christmas Eve too. It's like a big tradition with Italian families. So we'll do that and make some desserts like for Christmas, we do Italian honey balls and almond biscottis and things like that. So we do a lot of Italian traditional things for Christmas, but for Thanksgiving,
what is a honey ball? What's a honey ball?
Oh, they're like they're almost like little dough balls that you fry them. They're really small. They're about like this. There's the name in Italian. I can't pronounce it right now. I will screw it up. But there's a name for them. And then you put like little sprinkle things on them, and you drape them in honey, and they're so good. So anyway, it's called like it'll come to me in a second, the word in Italian. But anyway, so we make sure we do kind of some of those things. And then so we do stuffing, and we'll do certain traditional things. Now, my mom, and I have always said this, my mom can make some potato salad that I will put up against any black church ladies at the barbecue any day. Because my mom was in theater. And so when she was younger, she was around a lot of black folks, and she learned how to cook. So I can say that, not just because it's my mom, Okay, my mom's not a Becky. She doesn't put carrots or none of that bullshit in potato salad, raisins or whatever white folks do. That is not what my mom does. Okay, trust me. Okay, my mom's got soul.
You're crazy.
And she's got a black girl ass. Like my mom is cultured. Okay, so
your mom is seasoned. Your mom is seasoned.
Tara,
yes, you met my mom's on. You know,
she's
Tara,
seasoned.
I had really great like white girl version of potato salad. I've always just told my friends when they do that, I'm like, you just need another name for this. Like, you can't tell people you're bringing the potato salad and bring this. You got to tell them you're bringing something else, and
Right.
it would be accepted because it's delicious.
right? No, my mom makes real potato salad. There's no like fancy stuff though. She makes like black people potato salad. So it's
which means
but
there's mustard involved.
that is correct, and
Yes.
gherkins. And
Oh.
oh yes, trust me. You know, I'm real with it. So, but anyway, so we switch off, and then we usually try to do like some fancy new appetizer. Like my mom will scour, you know, the Thanksgiving magazines and stuff and say, oh, let's try that, just as something fancy different to try. But we always have the traditional things. We've got stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole. My husband loves biscuits, so I'll make cheddar biscuits. Like I said, I'm responsible for desserts usually, so my mom and I will do them.
You
so
should,
yeah,
you better get away. Tomorrow is almost here. You better get away. You better get in that kitchen if you're doing all that shit.
There's a whole menu.
Desserts tonight. We do the desserts tonight. We're getting.
My mom
it all
does
prepared.
start ahead. My mom does start ahead, and like she'll be cooking all night. But before I get into that, Clay, stuffing or dressing?
Dressing, obviously dressing. And normally for Thanksgiving, I might end up doing this. I do more of a friend's Thanksgiving, you know, a Friendsgiving. So all of us gay boys get together in New York and nibble on some food. Exactly. We all get together and, you know, go to each other's houses and stuff like that. And so we all bring a dish. Now I could cook, but I make the drinks. So I make some hella good drinks. So I come through with the drinks, the tequila mix, gin drink, you know, all that. I have a famous drink called a Purple Rain because I love Prince, right? So I'll be making a bunch of those. Yeah. But I have a confession to make. My friends attack me for this. I love the pies. I love the pies. But my favorite pie during Thanksgiving, I know it's blasphemy. I do love a pumpkin pie. I do.
Oh, that's not blasphemy.
I love a pumpkin pie. I'm sorry. I just because it's in the season, and I love obviously
blasphemy.
Because it's all about the sweet potato pie. I love that too, but I need my pumpkin pie. And
let me just tell you,
I made pumpkin pie.
I made my first pumpkin pie when I lived in St. Louis. And, you know, I dated someone like your mom, Tara, and we made a pumpkin pie. But you can make a pumpkin pie. I mean, it was delicious. Pumpkin pie is delicious.
Yes.
You put some nutmeg in there. But I'm sweet potato.
When else do you make pumpkin pie if it's not for Thanksgiving? This is news to me that's blasphemous. Maybe is that a black cultural thing?
Yes, they judge you, Sarah, like, okay. They want that damn pumpkin. I will get my pumpkin pie. And then they'll start eating it too. I said, wait a minute, don't eat that pumpkin pie. Right. I got it. Don't judge me, goddammit it. So
something else I do also is banana pudding. I make a good banana pudding. I do that for Thanksgiving too.
Delicious. But Tara, it's like the potato salad. It's not that pumpkin pie is not a thing. It's if you're responsible for bringing the pie, it's a given that you're bringing sweet potato.
I got it. Okay.
Pumpkin when we're supposed to be having sweet potato pie.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. Okay. Now look,
I love black folks.
This is kind of what the dressing is like that my mom cooks. Not exactly the same. But there should be a video. Is there a video in here? This is a video.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Wow.
Is that shrimp?
That was shrimp. And you see that? Look at that.
Oh.
Look at.
Oh my goodness.
And you put all this stuff in, and then it is yes. It's very it's similar to this, but not quite. And oof.
Oh, is that cream of mushroom?
That's cream of mushroom.
I'm about to
looks like an etouffee.
There was some Old Bay in this one. I don't know if my mom uses Old Bay, but I'm gonna try to see if I can do it. I'm gonna do it for Christmas. I don't think I'm gonna do it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You put that in the pan, and then it gets brown on the top, and then that little crunch around the edges. Ooh, shit.
That looks delicious. My mom's definitely allergic to shrimp, so we can't do it in my family. But that looks delicious. I'm coming to your house.
Can she do crawfish?
don't know. She's allergic to iodine, so she can't do shellfish. So I don't know if the iodine is in crawfish the same. It may not be, but yeah, I know because I love etouffee. So speaking of crawfish and New Orleans food.
Yep.
That looks good.
Well, guys, I thought
delicious.
we'd end on that. Now that we're hungry, Tara, you got to go because you got to get the cooking now. Otherwise, tomorrow it will not be ready.
My apron is like crazy pumpkin lady on it.
Yeah. Well, happy Thanksgiving, my friends, and happy Thanksgiving to all the lemon heads out there. Thank you guys for sharing this. I felt like I got to spend Thanksgiving with you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Virtual Thanksgiving. We love this.
Turkey Day. Yeah. Be great.
Community is everything. Thank you, Don.
Thank you. And make sure you let us know what you think and what you're doing for this Thanksgiving in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.